you some of these problems on the homework that's due tomorrow. Um, for most of these, I'm just going to give a helpful hint. So, for example, this stuff here, I'm not going to talk about, that has to be 100% absolutely memorized, period. You might even want to add on there things like this. E to the 0 is 1. X to the 0 is 1. Any number to the 0 is 1. That will come in handy. So for this problem here, the only thing I wrote down was plug in 7 for t. Once you read the problem, you'll see 7 months, t is in months, so you simply plug it in. The equation you need to use is this one here. Use this equation, which means you need to memorize this equation. It won't always be given to you. The equation to use here is the same one. How do I know? Because it says continuous. That's how I know to use that equation. For this one, you're just going to plug in all the variables that it gives you. Nothing more to be said about this problem here. For this problem, you simply need to use log rules. This is a good problem to watch and do after you watch the inverse logs video I posted. And we'll come back to this one because it's very fascinating. I've done all of the work for one of these problems. You guys know these problems well, but I wanted you to look at it again, use your log rules, like p in front of the log, take the natural log of both sides, and I also pointed out that you can't combine here. So I want you to copy this problem down exactly as you see it, and freeze the video so that you can do it. Actually freeze it. Okay, good. So let's go over this problem here. It says determine the roots. You know right away that when you're determining the roots, you set this equal to, that's right, you set it equal to 0. Now, you need to use log rules, well, really exponent rules here to be able to solve this problem. When you look at this right away, maybe you think you should divide both sides by e to the x. But if you do that, you'll lose a solution. You don't really ever want to divide by x when you're trying to find a root. You'll end up losing one of the solutions. So I can't do that. What I should be thinking about is something like this. A squared minus 3a equals 0. What do you do in a problem like that? Well, you factor out an a. And you would say a, what's missing here? Well, another a. What does this have that this doesn't have? The negative 3. And then you set both equal to 0, and you're done. That's exactly what you're doing. So we'll do that here. We know that e to the 2x is the same thing as e to the x plus x, which is the same thing as e to the x times e to the x. That is an identity that you, again, have to know. Those are exponent rules. And that is a specific exponent rule. It's the rule that e to the a plus b equals e to the a times e to the b. So let's go ahead and use this rule now. I'm going to rewrite this as e to the x times e to the x minus this stuff. What do these have in common? That's right, they have an e to the x in common, so I'll take these e to the x's out. What's left? That's left, e to the x minus 3 equals 0. And you know what to do from here. That's exactly right. I'm going to set this equal to 0 and that equal to 0. And e to the x minus 3 equals 0 is the same as e to the x equals 3. To solve for x, I've got to take the natural log of both sides. So I know that this cancels out, and I get x equals natural log of 0. This cancels out, I get x equals natural log of 3. This is one of my solutions. Hurrah. Right, this is one of my solutions. Hurrah. But what is natural log of 0? Stop this video, plug it into a calculator, or use the definition to remind yourself, what is natural log of 0? Yeah, so if you did that, you didn't do it, we'll stop it and then do it again. Right, so it's actually undefined. Natural log of 0 doesn't exist. So the only solution here is x equals natural log 3, and so I'm done. So, I want to make sure you get good practice. So here's your practice problem. Come back and show me in class that you've done this, so that I know that you know how to do these types of problems. So f of x equals e to the 3x times 2 plus 5 e to the x. There it is. Solve that problem. Find the roots. Find roots. Come back and show me that you've done that tomorrow, and I'll check your work.